The day I was reborn. When I should get my marriage license. This is my husband and I's 10th time. Officer Alexander. Alexander stood me up, just like in my past life. Know the results. I tore up the marriage report and replanned my life. To my surprise, Alexander was also reincarnated. The first thing he did when he came back is to find his beloved Luciana 2 years in advance. Bring her back and take care of her tenderly. Alexander thought I would beg for his love and followed him obediently, just like in my previous life. But unfortunately, he thought too much. I've decided I don't need him anymore. A few years later, Alexander made an effort to show up at my wedding. See me toast, hand in hand with my tall and handsome officer husband. Alexander fell down with red eyes. He asked me, Evelyn, why don't you want me anymore in this life? Chapter 1. Everyone knows this promising young officer, Alexander of the Southern Military District, married to a regular nurse. Everyone is amazed at my good luck. Marry someone like this. Destiny's child. I also believe in marrying Alexander. It's a gift from God. I'm waiting at the marriage registry, Alexandria Hall, for 5 hours. Full of joy. Sorry, Alexander did not show up. Waited for him for 5 hours. His bodyguard David is late. He told me. As sympathetic as Alexander. He stood me up 4 times. Alexander, I have something urgent to do today, so I won't be here. I hold the completed marriage documents in my hands. I walked out of the Civil Affairs Bureau, full of disappointment. The joy and excitement I felt when I arrived, echoing the disappointment and sadness I felt on the way back, because I'm in a bad mood. I didn't pay attention to my feet when I walked. I stumbled a step and fell down the stairs. I was covered in wounds and my face was bleeding. Then I was reborn. Everything in my past life, flashing through my mind like a revolving lantern. In my previous life, after my relentless pursuit without any self-esteem, after Alexander stood me up more than 10 times, we finally got our marriage certificate. As we hoped, marriage life is not so sweet, just as I imagined. The 3rd day of marriage. Alexander's expedition. 30 days after Alexander left, Louis's mother was in a car accident, leading to amputation and paralysis. To better support Alexander, and don't stop him, I quietly put away the admission letter from National University of Defense Technology, retirement home, dedicated to taking care of Louis's mother. Then I found out I was pregnant. From pregnancy to delivery, Alexander never showed up. He is always out on missions. When Alexander returns, our son is 3 years old. Alexander's achievements were outstanding and his status continued to rise. From regiment commander to brigade commander. Then give it to the teacher. In the meantime, I continue to be stuck at home. Childcare. And my paralyzed mother-in-law. The days I see Alexander are numbered. I've been wandering between the old and the young. In the kitchen. 30 years. Finally, Alexander's mother showed no gratitude to me. On her deathbed, she bitterly accused me. This is all your fault. If you hadn't insisted on marrying Alexander, he doesn't need to go on a mission to avoid you. I won't have a car accident. This paralyzed me. My Alexander life was wasted because of you. If you still have a conscience, you will divorce him. Let Alexander and Luciana be together. My son who graduated from college also said to me, Mom, you don't deserve a dad. Don't let him stay in this marriage. And set him free. I was shocked to realize. Alexander. With the flower of understanding, Luciana. Everyone thinks. I took the title of Alexander's wife, interfering with him and Luciana. I don't feel too bad for Alexander's mother. Thought of me. But shockingly my son. I raised it myself. Accuse me with them. My 30+ years of dedication seems so insignificant and ridiculous in their eyes. Anger drove me to seek clarification from Alexander. But on the road, I was in a car accident. Closed my eyes reluctantly. My head hurts. I have no idea if this is the aftermath of a car accident, or the pain of falling down the stairs, despair and anger after knowing the truth. Let me wipe the blood off my face, push away David who supported me, and tear up the marriage certificate. I've never seen David look at me like this. His eyes were wide open, his mouth was open. I don't care about David's expression. I just tear up the marriage certificate and spread them into the sky. Chapter 2. After the wound was treated in the hospital, I'm going back to my place. But unexpectedly, I met Alexander at the hospital entrance. He quickly stopped the car and helped a weak young woman get rid of it. I recognized her identity at a glance. She is, in the previous life, in harmony with Alexander, and is recognized by everyone as the future Lady, Luciana. In the previous life, Luciana met Alexander only after he married me and performed a task. Why did they meet so early? This life, I thought to myself. When my eyes fell on Luciana's face, I noticed a cut on her forehead, as if hit. Alexander's concern for Luciana is obvious, even ignoring boundaries between men and women, and ready to embrace Luciana and ascend to heaven. Stares. Maybe feel my gaze. He glanced casually. Seeing me covered in blood and bandages, Alexander was stunned for a moment. What's wrong with you? His voice sounded stern, just like asking a subordinate, or someone who made a mistake. I didn't answer him. I just walked down the stairs slowly. Evelyn, I'm talking to you. Why don't you respond? Alexander emphasized his tone, but I still ignored him and quickened my pace. A soft voice came from behind. Is it because your nurse Evelyn irritated you? If that's the case, you should explain it to Evelyn. Nurse, don't worry about her. You are injured and need to be checked out immediately. I quickened my pace. Leave them both in their caring and intimate conversation behind their backs. Tears wet my eyes. I hate myself for being so useless. Having lived such a painful life. Very clear. My feelings towards Alexander are moth to flame. I know Alexander has no feelings for me. Why? Meet Alexander. Being so gentle and considerate to another woman still breaks my heart. Sad? I came home like a ghost. Met many familiar faces along the way. Everyone expressed concern and asked about the wound on my head. Everyone can. It seems that my head injury is serious. They all know to show they care and ask. However, the man I have devoted all my love to, love him to the point of life and death. No concern shown. In Alexander's eyes, there is only Luciana. I thought about my past life, how I endured loneliness. Persevere with faith and love. I remember crying into my pillow every night, tears streaming down my face, out of pain and longing for Alexander. I don't know how many times I've done this. Missing Alexander and Luciana. Hug each other tightly. Never gave me any love or comfort. I finally gave up, Alexander. I will never chase you foolishly again in this life. I opened the drawer, take out a piece of paper, and started writing resignation letter. I joined the army to be Alexander's nurse. Now I don't plan to pursue Alexander anymore. I decided to leave here. Resigning was the first step I needed to take. The second step I decided was to go back to school. In my previous life, I know I'm not good enough for Alexander. To catch up with Alexander. Stand with him. I have been studying hard for the exam. In my previous life, I took the college entrance examination. Received the admission letter from National Defense University. I was going to share this surprise with Alexander, but Alexander was too busy to have time. Later, Alexander was given a mission and left. His mother was in a car accident. I can't abandon Alexander as a mother. So I gave up the opportunity to continue my studies, becoming a housewife. I will never marry Alexander. I want to go to college. Embark on a different life path than before. Chapter 3. I want to submit my resignation. Transfer application. the direct leadership of our military region. The hospital thought I left because I got married. Evelyn, marrying Captain Lou won't affect my work, right? My head is full of romantic thoughts. No. Women hold up half the sky. But you shouldn't rely on love for your whole life. And family. Women should also have their own careers. The leader really cares about me. I sincerely thank the leadership. Thanks for your reminder. However, I did not quit my job for marriage. I plan to go back to school. Congratulations. But going back to school means spending 4 years. How is your marriage with Captain Lou going? I won't marry him again. By the way, I hope you can keep my resignation. And pass on the secret. I don't want any third party to know. The leader agreed and told me. Approval takes some time. Then go back and wait patiently. Return to residence. From a distance, I saw the military vehicle driven by Alexander. Chasing Alexander. Past 5 years. He rarely shows up at my house. Mainly me. Shamelessly harassing him with all kinds of excuses. Today, Alexander appeared. The sun rises in the west. I was thinking about this when I saw Luciana. Luciana with a bandage on her forehead. Alexander carefully helped her out of the car. Maybe it's because she's too weak. She fell and fell into Alexander's hands. When getting off the bus, Alexander did not push Luciana away. Instead, he held Luciana with one hand. Open my door with another key. I don't know Alexander. Why did he hold Luciana when he came to my house? So I cleared my throat and heard the sound. Alexander turned his head to look. See me. He let go of Luciana awkwardly. You are back. His voice was stiff and cold. And the way he looked at me. It feels like looking at a stranger. I find it boring. Then he walked over silently without saying anything. Every time I see Alexander, obsessed to the extreme, my eyes and heart are filled with him. Alexander was very unhappy with this silence. His expression darkened again. Evelyn, you came back just in time. I have something to tell you. From now on, Luciana will live here with you. Chapter 4. This sentence surprised me. Why does she want to live here? She was just transferred here and has no place to live. Doesn't the company have dormitories? I retorted, isn't it convenient to live in the dormitory? I looked at the man's face. Who speaks firmly? In my previous life, Alexander did not bring Luciana with him. So this never happened. How can such a big change happen in life? But no matter how the situation changes, this has nothing to do with me. I asked him softly. If I lived here, where would she live? I must clarify. I don't have the habit of sharing places with strangers. My accommodation was arranged by the hospital. After all, I served in the military for 5 years. Hardworking, and always take on the most difficult tasks. On the front lines, everyone saw it. Hospital leadership. I was assigned a 2-bedroom apartment. Now Alexander. Arbitrarily. I want to give my house to Luciana. He does have some courage. Alexander didn't expect me to talk like this. I refused to live with Luciana. It made him look unhappy. Evelyn, what's wrong with you? Why do you nitpick over these little things? Haha, trivial matters, nitpicking. But why should I be generous? Ignoring Alexander's ugly expression, I asked, what is your relationship with Luciana? Are you Luciana's boss or a relative? My suggestion is very. Who are you to find a place for Luciana to stay? Alexander thought I was jealous. Puffing up his cheeks, glaring. Evelyn, what do you mean? You need to clarify this for me. If clarification is needed. So, let's figure out who's afraid of who. As far as I know, you are not a relative of Luciana. Right? So, why are you jumping around? Arrange her accommodation. Besides, she's here to work. Accommodation is guaranteed. Arranged by the leader. I really don't understand. What is the reason? You brought her to my house. Didn't even say hello. My question made Alexander very embarrassed. Luciana doesn't look happy either. She glanced at me sideways and said weakly, because Nurse Evelyn disagrees. Then I'll stay in the dormitory. Alexander was unwilling. He pulled me aside, his face grim. What on earth are you doing, Evelyn? I tell you, it is imperative that Luciana stays with you. You must agree. This is the command. Orders? That's ridiculous. I'm not his subordinate. What right does he have to tell me what to do? Is this based on habit, or is it just his face? I replied coldly, your order is invalid. Alexander was frustrated to see me persist. Evelyn, think about this carefully. If you reject me, and failed to reflect the noble spirit of military wives, then we must rethink our marriage. Chapter 5. Are you threatening me with marriage? Or humiliate me in front of Luciana? I clearly saw the smile in Luciana's eyes. She is happy. Alexander treated me like this. What is she expecting? I turned my eyes away from Luciana and looked at Alexander, coldly and clearly stated word by word. Even if Captain Lug doesn't come to see me, I'm going to discuss this with you. Speaking of, I'm just a little nurse, not worthy of Captain Lu. I've gone too far with marriage. I realized my mistake, and ready to clarify to Lu. Captain. Now, Officer Lu, I also think we don't need to get married. Then I will cut off all ties with Officer Lu. From now on. Alexander's expression was as if he had eaten a fly. He snapped, Evelyn, do you know what you are saying? I know exactly what I'm talking about. Officer Lu, it was all my fault before. It was me who shamelessly pestered you and forced you. This won't happen again. Now let's get this straight. Start now. We each pursue our own marriage. No interference. Having said that, I thought Alexander would agree. We will part ways amicably. Who would have thought? Alexander won't break up with me directly, but he stared at me like he wanted to eat me when we are at a standstill. Luciana fainted from weakness, and Alexander, feeling heartbroken, take Luciana to the hospital immediately. I walked into the room without emotion, tear off the facade, and clearly stated that they broke up. I know very well. This is an unspoken agreement. I broke up with Alexander. I don't have time to mourn the fall or lament the spring. What do I need to do? First, prepare for college tuition. While waiting for the admission letter, I really tried my best. In the past few years, marry Alexander. Furniture, bedding, flower pots, bowls and pots in the wedding room. I bought them all with my salary. I have been preparing tirelessly. Everything about wedding. Alexander was completely indifferent. Don't care about anything. I spent all my salary for 5 years. The frugality of this wedding. Only a few $100s left. A few hundred yuan. Definitely not enough. Tuition and living expenses for 4 years. I have to find a way to make some extra money. I'm planning on selling all the things I have prepared for the wedding, so I can raise some funds. Without hesitation, I went to the bridal chamber that Alexander and I shared. Start selling things the next day. All furniture. The bedding, pots and pans are all brand new. Get money quickly. I sold them at a price much lower than when I bought it. There are many newcomers in the army. Getting married. The bedding I chose is very beautiful. This is the first one sold. The next thing to sell is pots, pans, and bowls. Big items sold last. Large items are relatively heavy, and the price is higher. I negotiated with Wajideo. Who wants to buy big items? He will come to reshuffle the cabinet tomorrow. He will give me half the money first, and the rest of the cabinets after moving them. No matter what, these items have been sold. I have secured college tuition. I still feel happy inside. It was a bit late when I got home, so I went to a wonton shop on the roadside. I had a bowl of wontons for dinner. Before going home, as I walked in thought, I looked up accidentally. I found that the windows of my house were lit. Then I noticed the car parked at the gate. Chapter 6. Alexander. Is he coming to my house again? What he wants? I quickly opened the door. Met Alexander, who was about to leave. What are you doing in my house? Alexander noticed that my expression was a little unnatural. I'll get something. What's the matter? I continued to ask. This is really weird. In the past, I have invited Alexander many times before. He would come to my house unwillingly. Now we have broken up. He actually came to my house and took things from my house. I have a strong feeling that something is wrong. I kept a serious expression and held out my hand to Alexander. Look, Captain, we've broken up. So you need to return the keys to my house immediately. Alexander pursed his lips. There was a hint of anger on his face. Everything has limits, Evelyn. Constantly talking about the breakup. Pointless. If I take it seriously, the consequences will be unbearable for you. I laughed out of anger. Who is kidding you? Separate. It's something I've thought about carefully. You need to return the keys to my house immediately. I think Alexander's arrogance. He'll take out the key and threw it in front of me with contempt. But he didn't actually do that. Instead, he said, I know why you are angry. Just because I didn't go with you. You want to get your certificate yesterday, right? I had an emergency yesterday. Something happened at Comrade Luciana's house. I'm busy dealing with this matter. So I stood you up. This is my fault. I apologize. Okay then. Let's take some time to get the certificate tomorrow. That should calm you down, right? At this point, Alexander, still, I think it's a favor to get the certificate with me. For me. I couldn't help but laugh. We broke up yesterday. Evelyn, I'm not interested in getting a certificate with you. You will never get your certificate. Now I only care about one thing. What are you doing in my house? And immediately return my house keys to me. Evelyn, are you serious? Alexander finally noticed something was wrong. He glared at me fiercely. I looked at him coldly. Seeing me calm, Alexander was defeated. He pushed me aside and walked out. I caught up with him and said, Give me back my keys. Alexander completely ignored me. When he got in the car and drove away, makes me tremble with anger. I don't understand why. He wouldn't give me my keys back. Alexander has left. So I had no choice but to go back. I opened the bedroom door, found out that my drawer was actually open. My heart sank and I ran over to take a look. The 500 yuan I put in the drawer is gone. Chapter 7. Alexander actually took my 500 yuan from the drawer, without even saying a word. This is something I could never have dreamed of. I saved this 500 yuan for wedding banquet with Alexander. I have discussed this with Alexander. I didn't expect Alexander to take my money. Speaking of, Alexander's pocket money is higher than mine. Why did he take my savings? Isn't this theft? If I had known Alexander would take my money, I should change the locks. It's too late to say anything now. That night, I tossed and turned. I was so angry that I couldn't sleep well in the morning. The first thing I did was buy a new lock. Replace door locks. Then I hurried to the wedding room. Continue to sell big-ticket items. Instructor Wu moved the cabinets and wardrobes. Give me the rest of the money. I'm also ready to leave the wedding room. But I never thought Alexander would bring. Luciana is here. Luciana is frail and fragile, supported by Alexander. She didn't expect to see me here. Alexander looked unhappy. What are you doing here? By the way, why did you change the door locks? This is my home. I can change it any way I want. Do you have the right to interfere? I hit back directly. Think about the $500 Alexander took. I asked him without hesitation. Did you take the money from my drawer? Yes, Alexander admitted. Why did you take my money? I desperately need. Okay, even if it's urgent. You can't take my money without my permission, right? This is my savings, it has nothing to do with you. You need to return my money immediately. Alexander looked unhappy. He supports Luciana, coughing weakly, a few times. Evelyn. Sorry, it's all my fault. Alexander asked me to lend him money for an emergency. I can't pay you back yet. So Alexander gave all the money I had saved to Luciana. I looked at Luciana's white lotus emoji. I feel like my lungs are going to explode. Use my money to please Luciana. How could Alexander have the nerve to do this? I have no reason to quarrel with Luciana. After all, it was Alexander who took my money. I didn't look at Luciana's disgusting face, but turning to Alexander. Taking my money without permission is theft. Alexander, give me my money back now. Chapter 8 Alexander the First. I didn't expect to give him face. A trace of embarrassment and anger flashed across his face. What can you do if I don't return it? That's really interesting. This is my money. Taking it without asking is stealing. If you don't return it, I'll call the police. Alexander looked at me in disbelief. What's up, Evelyn? Are you crazy? I'm not crazy, Alexander. We have broken up. You illegally took money from my family, without my permission. As a leader, don't you think it's shameful to break the law? He didn't mean it. It's all because of me. This is all my fault. Luciana interrupted with tears in her eyes. Evelyn, nurse, if you have any complaints, come to me. Hit me or scold me. Luciana, you are so funny. We have no connection, no relationship, just strangers. You didn't do anything wrong to me. So what reason do I have to hit you or scold you? This is all to help me. Alexander, your money has been transferred. The real culprit is me. Don't embarrass Alexander. If you have any complaints, please contact me directly. All right. Then give me back the money Alexander gave you. As long as you pay me back, nothing else matters. Alexander shouted. Evelyn. I sneered. What are you shouting? Did I say something wrong? I just want my money. What does it have to do with me? Can I count it as your loan? I'll pay you back later. Alexander finally lowered his proud head. When is later? I asked. It better not be an empty promise, okay? How did you become like this? I will give you money. If you don't believe me, I can write you an IOU. Okay, let's write an IOU. Say this. I took out a piece of paper and a pen and handed it to Alexander. The repayment date should not be too far away. You'd better return it to me within 1 month. Alexander. When I look into your eyes, it's hard to put into words. I didn't back off. I stared at him coldly. In the end, he blushed and picked up a pen to write the IOU. I reminded him, put your thumbprint here, to prevent you from denying it later. Alexander almost gritted his teeth when he pressed his thumbprint. I took IOU and put it in his pocket and walked away. When the man reaches the corner of the stairs, there were hurried footsteps behind me. Then came Alexander's frantic voice. Evelyn, where is all the bedroom furniture in this house gone? Chapter 9. Alexander, holding Luciana, bumped into me at the door. Too focused on our confrontation. I found something missing from my home, until he was ready to help the weak wind and support Willow. Luciana sat down. He realized. Furniture mysteriously disappears. No place to sit. Alexander was surprised and angry, and immediately caught up to ask. I turned around and answered naturally, sold it. His face was filled with shock. What do you mean? Why do you want to sell your furniture? We plan to use it at our wedding. Why would you do that? Didn't even ask for my opinion. I scoffed. I bought all these things with my own money. I can do with them what I want. No need to ask for your opinion. No Alexander's shocked expression. I turned and walked away. Behind me, I heard Luciana sobbing. Alexander, it's all my fault. Because of me, Evelyn. Nurse. I had a falling out with you. I shouldn't have come. It's okay. It's none of your business. It's her fault. Alexander gently comforts Luciana. Hee. I secretly laughed at myself. And quicken your pace to leave this gossipy place. The next day at work, I heard from a fellow nurse that Lily, Alexander takes care of the frail Luciana. Spent a whole day and night in the hospital. Lily hates Luciana. I heard she graduated from a prestigious university. Excellent medical skills. But she doesn't look like excellent medical skills. Not at all. She was only slightly injured. No real problem. But she was cared for in the hospital for 2 days. Medication and hospitalization. I just smiled and said nothing, It's really sad to think about it. In the past, when I had a high fever, 39 degrees, I want Alexander to take me to the doctor, but he thought I was spoiled and went to the hospital alone. I thought a qualified military wives shouldn't be spoiled. Try to make yourself strong. But the result? Alexander just used this as an excuse. Don't love me. In his eyes, Luciana was not worth making a fuss about. Even small scratches. The line between love and indifference is so clear. Luckily, I calmed down. My heart is calm. I don't feel uncomfortable at all. By the way, Lily was very angry. Luciana. Originally, he was not qualified to work in our hospital. It was her family's leader who intervened. And leave her here. She is too delicate to stay in the dormitory. Complaining about lack of space. Our hospital arranges accommodation according to work, competencies, and qualifications. Leaders say there is no way to arrange a single room for her. Finally, the building leader took her away. He said he would find her another place to live. So Alexander took Luciana back to her bridal chamber, because he wanted Luciana to live in our marital home. Yes. Fortunately, I had the foresight to sell everything I bought. Use my money in advance. Otherwise, this is a good deal for Luciana. I felt an inexplicable sense of relief. An unnatural smile appeared on my face. Lily looked at me suspiciously. Evelyn, why do you look like that? Are you laughing because you are angry? Your fiancé is so nice to another woman. How can you laugh? I'm telling you, Evelyn. You need to have a good talk with your family. New leader. I told Lily with a smile. Alexander has nothing to do with me. We have broken up. What? Lily was shocked. Are you breaking up? Aren't you planning to get married? There will be no wedding. I broke up with Alexander. So please don't associate me with him anymore. There is no furniture in the wedding room. Make it uninhabitable. Alexander even took my money and gave it to Luciana. I can't either. Temporarily provide money for Luciana to buy things. So she ended up having to live in the hospital dormitory. Chapter 10. There are no single rooms in the hospital. They are shared by several people. Luciana was sent by Alexander, being subtle in front of Alexander. But once he leaves, she became another person. She ordered the others in the dormitory, make her bed, and tell them. The hospital she was assigned to was in the capital. Alexander specifically asked her to come here. He went to her hometown for her and helped her cancel her engagement. Her family has made arrangements. The fiancé her family arranged for her is very stubborn, refusing to cancel the engagement. Alexander had to invest a lot of money to do this. These words came into my ears. Don't let anyone go. I can only smile knowingly. Suddenly thought of a question. Since I can be reborn, has Alexander also been reborn? So the first thing he did after his rebirth. Just go find Luciana and bring her to you. Take care of her. Will Luciana be reborn like us? Knowing that Alexander will hold a high position. Future. Did she give up everything to follow Alexander? Becoming a military doctor. Of course, all this is just my guess. I've talked to Alexander. His business has nothing to do with me. I'm not worried. I just didn't expect, after a few days of peaceful life, I'll see Alexander again at my doorstep. Alexander's standing by the car smoking. See me put out the cigarette. A smile appeared on his face. You are back. I did not answer, but retorted. Are you here to pay me back? Give me the money and I'll give you an IOU. Immediately. Alexander, I didn't expect that I would react like this. His expression froze instantly. Evelyn, you. I looked at him coldly, without any expression. Alexander met my eyes. He only saw indifference in my eyes. He finally admitted it. Let's talk about it. No, we've broken up. There's nothing to talk about. Evelyn, I know you're mad at me because of Luciana. My relationship with Luciana is not what you think. We have no relationship at all. Alexander thought about his words. Luciana, she's a very nice person. Her family situation is somewhat special. She is a very promising surgeon. Her family is unfortunate. I don't want to see her. I won't even be able to hold a scalpel anymore. That's why I helped her. Luciana always follows Alexander. As a healthcare practitioner, in her previous life, I heard, she graduated from a famous medical university and is expected to become an excellent surgeon. But then she injured her hand. I can no longer hold a scalpel, so she can only become a healthcare doctor. Next to the leader. This is what I heard about Luciana in my past life. What to do? Alexander knew she couldn't hold a scalpel. I'm absolutely sure Alexander is back. In my previous life, he and Luciana spent every day together. He knew what Luciana had been through, so he saved Luciana ahead of time. What a beautiful and great love. The first thing Alexander did when he returned, just stand me up. Save his beloved. I should applaud and celebrate their love. Unfortunately, I am a victim. I can't be happy for them. I interrupted Alex coldly. You don't need to tell me about your relationship with Luciana. I'm not interested. We have broken up. Now, the only connection between us is a promissory note. Alexander. The first one I didn't expect would be like this. And I will still be so unyielding. Evelyn, are you sure you want to talk to me like this? What else? How do you expect me to talk to you? Team leader Lou, I have considered it carefully. Break up with you. I'm not playing hard to get. I don't have the time or energy to do this. Avoid unnecessary trouble. Please, Leo, leader, don't show up in front of me again. Alexander, a man of destiny, how could he? I was treated so coldly. He looked almost gray and said, Evelyn, don't regret it. Don't worry, I'll never regret it. In my previous life, to endure such betrayal is like a beast of burden. I must be crazy, even considering regret. I wasn't interested in Alexander leaving. I just closed the door. Chapter 12. From that night on, I often saw Alexander. He often appears in the hospital. We met. I know he came to see Luciana. Avoid unnecessary trouble. I always keep my distance and get out of the way. Whenever I see Alexander from afar,